Hello and welcome to the Blindfolded 1-star world record commentary video where I will try to explain what is going on, deep dive into the strats a bit here and there, and just talk a bit about the run in general. So this is the current world record. It's standing since around December 2023, so around 3 months now. And 1-star is one of the hardest and also the shortest category in Super Mario 64, in fact. The time has been lowered over and over again, especially in the recent 1-star grind, where I also grinded for 0-star. But what makes this category so special is that it is using the hardest tricks in the game. That is LBLJ and especially SBLJ. And you're gonna see those tricks in a second here, but the run starts off as always with the intro and then the good old lucky to skip. Thankfully, we have a blindfolded setup for that. As you can see here, we align with the bridge and perfectly can perform lucky to skip even if we are blindfolded. And the run is extremely fast paced. You can just see we go right to the next trick, which is LBLJ. We first need to set up a very precise angle here, get into the pillar out of bounds, and then perform a BLJ on an invisible wall here, build up speed, shoot past the entrance door, turn the camera in some very, very crazy ways, and then hopefully we'll reach past the star door and go to the first Bowser stage. This is a trick that is very, very difficult to do even if you can't see, and the fact that we can do this very much consistently blindfolded is very astounding to me to this day. The first Bowser stage is also very fast, as you can tell by the movement here. It looks like visual gameplay, honestly. Bowser 1, Bowser in the Dark World, the stage is called, is one of the most optimized stages so far in Super Mario 64. It has a big history of both the red coin star and no red coin star. And in 1-star, we don't need the red coins because why would we collect those? So we just cruise through the stage with some long jumps, lots of normalized movement and lots of beat counts. Both concepts we're going to go more into detail in just a second. But before that, we need to talk about the first Bowser fight, because this is going to be interesting. We are utilizing a glitch that lets us grab Bowser's tail from in front of him. You can see it right here. We walk into Bowser, and then wait for him to turn around, and boom, Bowser is suddenly in front of us. And then we run around him and redo the glitch 2 times to drag him efficiently into the bomb without actually having to throw him. That is a very, very clever strat that we found that allows us to 100% consistently defeat Bowser. And it's just a blessing that this exists. So the next part is the infamous SBLJ. And the SBLJ is pretty much considered the hardest trick in the game. It is very similar to normal BLJs, which stands for backwards long jump, by the way. Just we need to do it in like only one stair with a very specific angle, with a very specific setup. So both the visual and the blindfolded speedruns have different setups actually. I had to create this setup specifically for blindfolded. We use this tiny edge here to normalize, first of all. So normalization means that we always know exactly where we are, and we have a expected result from our from our movement. So right here you can see me set up just that Mario's left foot stands in this upper stair, and then I'm trying to do a BLJ right in between the first and second stair. It's very, very precise, and it is probably estimated to take up to around 5 minutes if everything goes well. So this is not a trick you would expect to get first try. You can see the setup here. I'm going to repeat this a couple of times. Important is that we always do get into the first stair with Mario's left foot, and then perform the long jump backwards right into where the stair meets the wall. There is like a tiny, tiny spot where you can start mashing in a very precise speed. Now, the whole starting of the SBLJ is not only the hard part, but it's also the speed control afterwards. And after we finally manage to build some speed, we have to use that to basically clip. The goal is to clip through the star door in front of us. And you can see I'm doing these breakdance punches to adjust the angle, and there we had it. I locked into the stair, what we call a lock-in. But we have to talk about the fence. The fence is the biggest enemy in 1 star, because dependent on how much speed you have, what angle you have, etc., everything determines if you hit the fence or not, after all. And if you get unlucky and touch the fence, you just lose all your speed and fall down. So the biggest challenge is avoiding the fence. And usually that is done by, again, very precisely manipulating the stick and Mario's angle, but in Blindfolded it's so precise. And there we got it. We got past the fence. I'm building up speed now against this wall. And will we clip? And there's the clip. We have enough speed to finally go through. And we can go to Dire Docks with 0 stars. Absolutely crazy that this is possible blindfolded, if you ask me. Dire Docks is one of the slower paced stages. There's lots of swimming. Swimming underwater sounds very scary. It is kind of scary now that I think about it. But it also is kind of consistent. So as long as you know what you do, it is no problem. And that's where I have to start talking about beat counting, because the next stage will be entirely beat counted. So there is a background music in Super Mario 64, like dun, 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 dun. And that's the beat of the background music. And we count that background music and bind inputs to it. Dun, 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 dun. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And we basically make Super Mario 64 into a rhythm game, hitting all the beats with all the inputs that we need. And I talk about this in DDD because you will see what happens now in Fire Sea. Fire Sea is one of the fastest stages, and same as the first Bowser stage, there was lots of optimizations over the years. And we basically use one long beat count through the entire stage here. It all starts by long jumping over these lava gaps here. And the goal is to reach a certain cycle on the second floor of the stage. Because in both visual and blindfolded speedruns, this stage is cycle dependent. Most importantly, on the second floor here, there is this big vertical elevator that you can see in the distance right now. And this one is going up and down. And you can only reach the next floor when it reaches its maximum height. So right here, I lava boost onto it in a very specific timing, so I can 100% guarantee that I get up here. And that is all done with the power of beat counting, basically. After that, there's more cycles with the platforms in the lava that expand and not, but that's basically the hard part of Fire Sea. Very, very fluid stage, and very nicely done in this run as well. Bowser 2 works pretty much the same as Bowser 1. We're gonna utilize the tail glitch one more time. This time it works a tiny bit different because Bowser has always the starting attack where he does this ground thingy, and then we only need to run around him once because he's by default closer to the bomb. And that's Bowser 2. So now, if needed, there would be a good time for example, donations or something, if there's anything to read, or for marathons, some stretch break, etc. Because now there's some cutscenes, etc. And then we go to BLJs, backward long jumps, which is the most infamous trick in Mario speedrunning, I would say. So how it works is Mario, same as with the LBLJ and SBLJ that you've already seen, you can build up speed by continuously long jumping backwards into a stair. And here we can use this glitch to skip 2 major parts of the game. First, this star door, and this is the harder BLJ because the stair is not very long. And I get it here first try. We build up speed against the wall and then clip through it. I normalize my position here with this staircase, try to go up, and then we go right to the second BLJ, which is the infinite staircase. It's of course a bit easier because it is infinite and you can just keep mashing the BLJs until you get it. Contrary to much belief, it's not actually just mashing, but you have to time the BJs properly. That was a very clean one. Having some troubles finding the entrance here, and there we go. 10 minutes sky entry, very, very nice. Then we are also already in the final Bowser stage, which is Bowser in the Sky. This stage, again, same as all the other Bowser stages, extremely optimized as it is in every category. We triple jump dive over this gap here, just like the visual speedruns, and then we listen for a music cue, so we can actually know where this elevator is in its cycle right now. From there on, we keep going up the slope and we prepare for the next trick, which is standing left side. A trick you usually would see in only visual speedruns, but we do it in Blindfolded now as well. So how does this work? You basically can position yourself at the corner here and skip a whole section by doing a very precise triple jump wall kick right off the sloped platform there. Very nicely done. And it is not over yet. There is one more very hard trick, which is the elevator skip, also called For the Fans. And I fail it the first time, but I luckily land on top. The nerves are surely getting to me in this run. I definitely know that I'm on world record pace here. So how this trick works is we triple jump, wall kick off the side of the elevator and then jump dive off of the tiny platform that's there, and that is For the Fans, ladies and gentlemen. And we are just approaching the final Bowser fight, which is unfortunately one of the hardest parts of the run still. So how it works is we need to hit Bowser into 3 bombs. The first 2 bombs are setups. They are scripted and they will not fail 99% of time. We want Bowser has 2 attacks, either the run attack or the jump attack. Here, very unlucky because I got pushed a tiny bit too far, so I fell down and couldn't actually re-grab him, but it was a very quick death at least, so I didn't lose too much time. We're gonna see this one more time here. We're gonna hold up until a very specific audio cue, then go neutral, and then wait for Bowser. He does an attack now that he jumps. It is a 50% chance. So this is 2 times 50%. And then will he jump a 3rd time? No, he does the run attack. So that's the one that we need, because he runs through us and then we can do the tail grab into the bomb right away without actually throwing him. Same strat for the second bomb. Now, the third bomb is the actual problem though, because after the second bomb, the stage will start to crumble and we cannot use the run strategy anymore. So the third throw is actually timed, and it is a only 2-frame window in most cases. In some cases, it's a 1-frame window in a game that runs at 30 FPS. So it is a very, very small fraction of time based off of like a very obscure audio cue. So incredibly difficult. Lots of runs have died at this point. And will he hit it here? And he hit it. Let's go. First try. Basically, we listen for the whoosh sound, the whoosh, 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 and then throw based off of that. And the last thing to do is grab the final big star right here. And that is time. 13 minutes, 31 seconds. The fastest completion of Super Mario 64 while blindfolded. There's literally no faster run than this, and 1 star is very optimized. Besides the mistake at the last Bowser fight where we fell down once, and a 3rd or 4th try SBLJ, this run was basically flawless. So it is still possible to improve this, but it's going to be very, very difficult. That's all I will say. And the estimate for this run will be around 20 to 25 minutes. And the estimate is simply so high compared to my personal best because the SBLJ simply can take a lot of time. It is such a precise trick that it is just impossible to estimate exactly how long we will need for it. So I would rather go safe and do a tiny extra minutes for that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. This was the blindfolded 1-star world record. Very quick run, very fast paced. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and see you next time with more blindfolded awesomeness. Bye bye.